From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Satellite and radar shows a line of showers beginning to develop across western portions of mid-Michigan. Even more activity over toward the Grand Rapids area. Temperature-wise, we're down into the mid to upper 70s in places like St. John's, Wausau, and Ionia. Those areas have already picked up on a decent amount of rain. We're at 86 degrees here in Lansing, 85 for our current temperature in Jackson. A few more scattered rain showers and thunderstorms in the forecast as we go throughout the rest of our Tuesday. Then we have some cooler temperatures and finally some lower humidity to talk about. 6 News at Noon starts right now.
WMMS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at Noon.
Right now at noon, a former employee of a small athletic association accused of stealing thousands. It is our top story at noon. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kirk Montgomery. The Ingham County Sheriff's Office is currently investigating a former employee of the Weberville Junior Athletic Association for allegedly embezzling thousands of dollars from the organization over the span of 6 years. The investigation is ongoing. Our own Karina Prito is here now for you with what we know so far. Karina.
Well, Kirk, as you mentioned, information is limited at this time. According to the Sheriff's Office, this individual is being investigated for allegedly embezzling more than $20,000 between 2019 and 2025. According to the Sheriff's Office, this person had access to the association's bank account to purchase items for the concession stand. The former employee is being accused of using these funds for unauthorized personal purchases. Following a detailed months-long investigation, the case will be submitted to the Ingham County Prosecutor's Office for review. Now they're asking anyone with information to contact Ingham County Detective Kelly Bowden at 517-676-8253. We did also reach out to the Athletic Association. However, due to the open and active investigation, the board members did not provide any comment. Kirk, back to you.
Okay, Karina, thank you so much. Right now, a man is in custody after an hours-long standoff in Bath Township. The standoff brought several law enforcement agencies to a stretch of homes near the intersection of Park Lake Road and Maple Lane. They were there for several hours last night. The Bath Township Police Department says a man violated a court order and was refusing to step outside of a home. When he got there, when the officers got there, they found the man inside the home with 4 children. They say he refused to open the door and wouldn't let anyone leave, adding that he owns several weapons and is known to carry a gun. Eventually, the kids got out safely, but the man still would not leave. Police got a warrant, broke a window, and threw a phone inside to start negotiations. Hours later, the man surrendered and was taken to jail. Police are searching now for the driver responsible for crashing into a home earlier this morning on the north side of Lansing. The crash happened after 2 o'clock this morning on the 3800 block of Wilson Avenue near the Capital Region International Airport. Police say no one was hurt, but there was some damage to the home. Lansing police tell us a vehicle they believe was involved in that crash was located nearby on the 3300 block of North Waverly Avenue. Police believe the suspect may have left that vehicle behind. That crash remains under investigation. President Donald Trump declares a federal takeover of Washington, D.C.'s police force and is now shifting his attention to the upcoming meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday. The president says it's important to get in the room with Putin to see if he is serious about a peace deal with Ukraine. Taureen Small with the latest from Washington.
President Trump has placed Attorney General Pam Bondi in charge of the Washington, D.C. police force as part of his attempt to curb crime in the city. Bondi is meeting with D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser today as the Department of Justice takes control.
D.C. should be a place where everyone can come and feel safe. Behind me and to my side, we have some of the best career law enforcement and prosecutors in the country who are ready to take this on.
Bowser admits she's powerless to prevent the federal takeover, but some Democratic lawmakers say they will introduce a bill to give the mayor control over the D.C. National Guard like governors have in their states.
You have heard me and many Washingtonians before me advocate for full statehood for the District of Columbia.
Police data shows violent crime in D.C. has declined over the past year, while Trump says the nation's capital doesn't look good to other world leaders.
This is an emergency. This is a tragic emergency. And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin.
The president said he intends to use Friday's meeting with his Russian counterpart in Alaska to determine how serious Vladimir Putin is about a peace deal with Ukraine.
Probably in the first 2 minutes, I'll know exactly whether or not a deal can be made.
How will you know that?
Because that's what I do. I make deals.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is dubious. He shared a new intelligence report on X saying that Russia is redeploying troops and forces in ways that suggest preparations for new offensive operations. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer is now facing a lawsuit. It calls for a special election in the Great Lakes Bay region, where a state Senate seat has been left open for more than 7 months. People living in Michigan's 35th Senate District haven't had representation since January. That's when Kristen McDonald-Rivet left the state Senate to join the U.S. House of Representatives. An attorney filed a complaint on behalf of 7 people from Midland, Saginaw, and Bay counties, arguing, per the Michigan Constitution, it's the governor's job to call a special election. If she doesn't, the seat won't be filled until after next year's primary and general elections. We have a heads up for drivers now. Several lanes of I-96 are shut down in Ingham County, which could affect your routine. The Michigan Department of Transportation says 1 lane of I-96, both eastbound and westbound, are closed from Washington Avenue to M99. It is part of a 3-year, $44 million project to improve the highway, including several bridges. Crews completed most of the work already in 2023 and 2024. Lane closures started at 9 o'clock this morning and are expected to end around 3 p.m. Thursday afternoon.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Portions of mid-Michigan had somewhat of an active start to our Tuesday morning. Those of us north of I-96 have already seen a pretty decent amount of rain due to a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms that we saw earlier this morning. Notice the bulk of that activity that we saw a few hours ago exiting off to our north and east, but another line of rain is actually beginning to develop across mid-Michigan, and even more precipitation that we are going to have to keep our eye on off to our west over towards Grand Rapids and across Lake Michigan. We're holding on to the chance for a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms as we go throughout the rest of our Tuesday. Storm Prediction Center says a few of the thunderstorms that we see today do have the potential to be on the strong or even severe side of things. Currently, the Storm Prediction Center has almost all of the lower peninsula in this level 1 out of 5 marginal risk for severe storms. Our main concerns as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon is going to be the potential for any of these storms to produce a few isolated strong wind gusts, and also some very heavy downpours will be possible across the region as well. Rain showers continuing as we go throughout the rest of our Tuesday. A few sprinkles will be possible overnight tonight, but mainly once we get past midnight, we will be trending towards drier conditions. A lot of cloud cover in place as we move into the start of our Wednesday. That is expected to slowly decrease throughout the day, and I can't completely rule out just a couple of sprinkles as we move into our Wednesday afternoon. However, it does look like we will return to completely dry weather as we move into our Thursday. Notice a lot more sunshine will be possible across the region by then. Rainfall totals across parts of mid-Michigan could be really impressive from this system that we are dealing with today. Now, on the low end of things, we'll be seeing a trace amount, possibly as much as a ½ inch of rain widespread across the region. But depending on where the strongest thunderstorms and those heavy downpours actually set up, a couple of our computer models are indicating the potential for localized rainfall totals at 2, possibly even as high as 3 inches as we finish off the day today. Notice we have a blanket of cloud cover over in the city of Lansing. Temperatures 86 degrees, still incredibly humid, feeling like we are in the low 90s because those dew point temperatures haven't been able to decrease all that much. They're still sitting in the upper 60s to low 70s. We're at 79 degrees over in Grand Ledge, so slightly cooler over here right now due to an isolated sprinkle that just rolled through that area. Feeling like we're at 91 degrees over in Hillsdale. Again, those dew point temperatures still sitting in the low 70s. The good news is, even though we are still incredibly humid outside right now, as the cold cool front that's going to be generating the activity that I have in the forecast today eventually moves through. It cools our temperatures and dew point temperatures down, so it's going to feel a lot more comfortable Wednesday, Thursday, and as we move into our Friday as well. Highs for today topping out near 86 degrees, but of course with the humidity, it is going to be feeling slightly warmer before we start to generate that activity. Feels like temperatures will be peaking in the mid to low 90s across mid-Michigan today, but again, we do have some relief finally in the forecast. 85 degrees our high temperature as we move into our Wednesday, going to feel a lot more comfortable again because we are decreasing that humidity. A really nice forecast for our Thursday. Finally, we will be at average for our high temperature in the low 80s. Of course, enjoy that cool down while you can. Humidity and the highs in the low 90s return for the start of the weekend.
But we could really use the rain, right?
Yes, we've been in a pretty bad dry stretch here. Drought conditions widespread across parts of the area.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Kendall.